One of my favorite property investment strategies is actually HMO, right? And the reason for that is because you've got multiple tenants paying you rent every single month, maximum cash flow. And the best thing about it is you've got passive income, because once you get a group in, it's recurring, predictable income that's coming into your account every single month. Now, I'm currently on around 150 rooms. You've got 8 behind me right here. And this is one of the best things about it, is some of them, yes, I do own, but a lot of them I don't. I rent to rent them, which means this landlord has leased me this property for 5 years. I guarantee them X rent. I then charge 8 times the room rate. I pay the bills, and the difference is my cash flow. So a property like this, I could earn anywhere in between £700 all the way up to £2,000, depending on the yields and the guaranteed rent agreed with the landlord. But let's go and take a look at exactly how it works. We'll have a little look at the property, and then I can show you exactly how you can do this too. As you can see, this is an absolute monster. There's loads of different rooms and units for us to let out. There's 4 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, and a really, really great property. One of my first rent to rents actually. And this property, we guarantee the rent to the landlord. So we pay the landlord X amount. We then rent the rooms individually, and then we pay the bills, and the difference is our profit. Now, you'll probably see this property is being turned around at the moment. We just had a group of students leave, so we're getting ready for the next group to come in. So you've got cleaners, gardeners, we're sorting everything out. But let's go and take a little look at a couple of the rooms, and let's go into exactly how I source this and how you can get one of these too. So big, all singing, all dancing, fully HMO property. And the best thing about this one, by the way, was the landlord. It was the first HMO they were doing. They were struggling to rent all the rooms out through their agent. So it made sense for them to give me the whole property, me guarantee their rent. Yes, they're getting slightly less than they would if they rented the rooms themselves, but they don't need to worry about the maintenance. They don't need to worry about the voids. They don't need to worry about the utilities, the bills, the tenants, nothing. It's irrelevant to them. So even now, whilst it's empty, it's me that's guaranteeing their rent. So it's irrelevant to them. We've got tenants lined up. As I say, this property's been amazing for me over the past 4 years, and it continues to smash it as the rents continue to increase. But you can see big property, fully compliant, TP-Link internet to make sure that it goes throughout the whole property. And behind you is the premium ensuite room. So let's go take a look and let's go through the figures. So as you can see, premium room, obviously fire doors, self-clovers, because this is a licensed HMO, all right? Really, really important to note. If you're going to do this strategy, you need to make sure you're compliant. If you need a license, you need to make sure that you've got this. But really, really nice room. Love these windows. Big double bed over here. You've got this walk-in storage area where we've just put shelves just for, more storage, so we don't really need a wardrobe in here. And then you've got this amazing ensuite as well, which is ready to rock and roll. So keep in mind, tenants moved out of here a couple of days ago, so it does need a clean, but absolutely amazing property, and it's been great for me. So let's talk about this strategy. So typically what would happen is you would purchase a property like this. You might spend 100 grand on the deposit. You'd then spend another 100 grand on kitting it out, doing all the furniture, the en-suites, the additional bathrooms, getting the license, the compliance, the smoke alarms, the fire doors. The list just goes on and on. So you would need £200,000, and then you might make 2 grand a month, let's say, 24 grand. And your aim would be to add value, refinance to pull some of that money out, and then go again and again and again. The problem is a project like this could take a year. You're going to need to find the deal. You're going to need to acquire the license. You're going to need to do all the work. So you're going to need a big amount of cash. Now, for me, what I've done with this is I've actually found somebody that's already gone through that whole process. They've purchased the property. They've got the refurb done. They've got the HMO license. They've already even furnished the property. I came in here, I added a couple of bits. I think I spent a few £100 on maybe an extra fridge and a microwave, I think it was, from memory. And I've been ready to rock and roll. So instead of me having to find 200 grand, I've actually only found a few £100, and then I get to control this amazing HMO. And maybe I earn £1,000 a month. So I don't earn 2 grand, I only earn £1,000, but I put a few £100 into this deal. So for the past 4 years, every single month, I'm getting cash flow, £1,000, £1,000. Every now and then a bit less when the bills have gone up, sometimes a bit more. But that really accumulates, because when you've done over 60 of these deals, as I have, and also when you start incorporating serviced accommodation Airbnb model where you might earn 2-3 grand a month, you can see how you can really get this, making massive money. And you know me, I always keep it real. It's not easy. It is tough, but it's simple when you know how. And the only time I really come to my properties now is when I'm doing content with Nick. Otherwise, I'm just managing this from afar, from my mobile and from my laptop. So if you want to do this, let me try and give you 3 key pieces of value, how you can get going with this right now. So the first thing you'll need to do is get set up and compliant. And I've got a free 12 steps checklist, which I'll post below, that you'll want to go through those steps. After you're set up, the second thing you'll want to do is market research into the HMOs in your area. How many are there? Which roads are they on? Is there any owners that own multiple ones? You know, what's the local council saying? Is there Article 4? Do you need to have selective licensing or get planning permission to apply for a HMO? Do all that due diligence so you know roughly where you're at, where the properties are, and then we can begin to target them. And last but not least, the third thing you want to do is then start marketing to these HMO landlords and try and get through to them, whether that be through letter sends, whether that be through networking events, whether that be through just being on the ground. I actually sourced this deal through driving by, seeing a ladder outside, stopping the car, having a conversation, and then I realized that the landlord was just about to finish and needed tenants. The agency he'd gone with hadn't been able to fill the room, so I was able to come in, offer the guaranteed rent, and take control of the property. So once you've set up, done your market research and started sourcing deals, you're going to be really close to your first deal. Then all you're going to need is the paperwork, legals to get the deal over the line, and you're going to need to make sure that you know the deal works. So let me share with you the approximate figures of this property so that you can apply it to your deals. So the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out how much you can charge for a room. So let's just say here we're able to charge in between £500 and £600 per room, and that is constantly changing and increasing. So let's just take £500 for simple maths. There's 7 rooms in here, so I would go £500 times 7, which is £3,500, all right? £3,500 potential revenue. Then what I do is I take that £500, I multiply it by 1.5, which gives me £750. And that should be my aim in terms of the monthly cash flow I want to achieve. So if you take the total potential revenue, which is £3,500 grand, if you deduct £750, pay yourself first, you've got £2,750. Then if you allow £750, £700 for the bills, around £100 per room on a property like this, I'm going to be left with around £2,000 that I can guarantee the landlord's rent, and that's pretty much what this deal achieves. So what you want to do is find out how much you can charge per room. All right, you want to times that by the number of rooms. You then want to times that figure by 1.5 to work out how much you pay yourself first. Then you can calculate the bills and calculate what you can pay the landlord. Once you've done that, you got your first deal over the line, it's then a case of rinsing and repeating. As I say, currently on around 150 rooms, and it is the absolute foundation of my property business. It provides an amazing lifestyle, and you can do this stuff too. So even though SA is sexy and everybody's hyping about it, do not forget about HMO. It's an absolute beast. If you've got any questions, if you want to get involved, make sure you comment below, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.